Hey guys, Zach here. Today I want to take a step back from knives and other stuff and talk a little bit about rifle slings. Now I've had a ton of different slings over the years, and currently I have these four that are still in my possession, and I just want to talk about which ones of these I like best, why I like them best, and what I kind of recommend. I'll just go ahead and introduce each one here. Now these are all 2-point slings, so I'm not a big single point sling guy. These are all 2-point adjustable slings, so they're all kind of comparable in their size and their functionality. This first one here is a Blackhawk 2-point adjustable sling, and you can see here it has this little adjustable buckle that's spring-loaded, where it'll allow you to pull the sling and either lengthen or shorten it. Next up, I've got a Viking Tactics padded sling. This was kind of one of the first slings I bought that was a little bit more expensive. And it too has a similar type deal as the Blackhawk. It has this little releasable buckle here. So nylon slings, except for this one here, has a nice big shoulder pad. And it has this nice big long pull tab for the adjustable piece of it. And finally, I have two selections from Blue Force Gear. I have their padded combat sling. Again, they're 2-point, fully adjustable with this plastic buckle and this little pull tab. And then I have one of their non-padded version, which is exactly the same as the padded version, only without the pad. All right, so throughout run and gun, throughout being in the desert, carrying weapons around for extended periods of time, I've been through a lot of different slings. Obviously these and then others, like I've said. Each of these are kind of comparably priced, so let's go ahead and touch on that. The Blackhawk, this advanced adjustable version, I think is around $35 retail. The VTAC I think is a little bit more. I think this one is $45, almost $50 for this Viking Tactics. These Blue Force ones, the padded I think runs around $40, and I think the padded or the non-padded runs around $40, and then the padded one runs about I think $5 more than $45. And that's just factory retail prices, so you might be able to find those prices a little bit different depending on where you look. Of all of the slings though that I've had, these Blue Force ones are by far the best, and I kind of wanted to do this video to maybe to throw just a little bit of business their way, but I've been through quite a few slings, and these ones seemed fairly simple to me, and originally I have another one of these as well. Originally picked one of these up for my Remington 870 because I just wanted something real simple. I didn't want all of this different crap on my sling. I wanted a nice adjustable simple sling that I could put on the shotgun and but would still function, would still allow me to adjust it, to lengthen it and shorten it with ease. As soon as I got it on the shotgun, I kind of fell in love with it. And then I purchased another one for my Daniel defense, and then on my LWRC rifle I went ahead and switched this Viking Tactics, this expensive piece of kit here, out for, well, similarly priced really, but also padded Blue Force Gear sling. So one thing you guys are going to see from me throughout my videos is I try a lot of things. I don't just buy a sling and then I'm satisfied with it. If it really is the best, if I'm really happy with it through use, then I'll keep it and I'll talk about it, I'll do videos about it and so on. But if I'm not, I'll continue to buy other things till I find exactly what I want. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this video, because I absolutely fell in love with these Blue Force Gear slings. I now have 4 of them on 4 different weapon platforms, and I can't say enough good things about them. Now originally when I was first shopping for a sling, these plastic buckle here with the slider seemed kind of cheap to me. It seemed like just kind of chintzy and it wouldn't work very well. I couldn't be more wrong about that. They make this version of sling with I believe with an aluminum or a metal buckle, but I found that these plastic buckles work just fine for these. They come in a variety of colors, just like most all of these slings: tan, foliage, OD, black, and so on. So you're not really going to have an issue there. Fully adjustable, a lot of adjustment points in the sling, so you can set it up exactly how you want it. But really, the comfort level of them The webbing, the actual webbing of the sling is really good and durable. It's nice and thick, which almost makes it so you don't even need a pad on it. Whereas if I compare these blue Force Gear sling to, let's say, this Viking Tactics, you can see just by twisting it here that most of the nylon is pretty cheap. You know, it's pretty flimsy. And where that makes a difference is when you're adjusting it. See, here's an adjustment buckle here. When you're actually adjusting this sling, this cheap thin webbing, it gets bound up. And it doesn't always adjust, you know, in a quick hurry. You know, it might in the video when they're trying to, you know, in Viking Tactics is trying to show the sling off, it might work fairly well. But if you start to get it twisted up a little bit, it doesn't really work quite as well. This one actually works quite a bit better than the Blackhawk counterpart, okay? But it still doesn't work nearly as well as either of the blue Force Gear slings. So here's the Blackhawk version. Kind of the same deal I was showing you. You can pull the little buckle in and it slides and adjusts and so on. You have to first, you know, when you're running a drill or you're in a carbine class or something, you have to find this tiny rope. So if you're wearing a glove, you might not be able to get a hold of this really quickly. And then secondly, like I said, same with the Blackhawk, the material's kind of flimsy, so if it gets bound up a little bit, it can get jammed in here and you get kind of stuck mid-position in between short and long on your sling. Whereas these blue Force Gear, you have this big tactile piece of nylon that's folded over and stitched here. You get a hold of that and you're moving it. I mean, it is ease of use. You almost don't even have to think about it. It's just so easy how you can get it. Once you get the overall sling adjusted to where you want, it's the best. And you could see if I put them up next to each other. Here's the Blackhawk here on the bottom, and here is the blue Force Gear. You can see it's got a little bit of just the nylon itself. It's just that much better. It's nice and rigid. It doesn't bind up when you're trying to adjust it, whereas this Blackhawk one is a lot more flimsy. And I mean, these are all within $5 or $10 of each other's slings, so we're not talking a huge price increase between them. Of course, this is the padded version. So those of you guys who like a pad, there you go. Let's compare to the Viking Tactics. The Viking Tactics almost has, actually does, it has an even flimsier piece of nylon over both the Blackhawk and the blue Force Gear. It has the most flimsy piece. So this stuff really gets bound up and twisted up and everything else. It's, you know, it comes with these nice covers to cover your overlap extension on your you know, on your adjustment point. So when you have this all adjusted, you can use these sliding covers. So I mean, that's a nice little feature that it has over the Blackhawk slings and so on. But this thing gets caught up on everything. A buddy of mine was actually somehow, I'm not sure how, but he got this little rope, this little knot, hit the bolt release lever on the AR, and this knot got pinched in the chamber. So don't ask me how that happened, but you know, use it kind of, you know, if it can happen, it will. You know, it's one of those type of things. Somehow he hit the bolt, you know, mag change, bolt release lever, this got stuck in the bolt on an AR, so that was kind of, you know, we had a good laugh about that. But, you know, if it can happen, it will. Ease of use and simplicity. Back to this here, blue Force Gear. Blue Force Gear slings. I recommend them now to everybody I know, all my buddies. For the price, I wouldn't run anything. I'm sure there's probably, you know, eight or 10 other sling brands out there than the, you know, in the $80 or above range, and I would still be willing to put them up against this blue Force Gear sling system. I mean, just made in USA, good product, good product. Simple to use. The buckles themselves are really good. Nice big buckles, nice big strap. On this one here, you can see it doesn't have a pad, and it's actually quite comfortable, even without a pad. So you can kind of go either way with this blue Force Gear setup. Over the Blackhawk, where you see its wide pad is like a seat belt like less than a seat belt. So I'd pretty much stay away from the Blackhawk line for slings anyway. Viking Tactics, that's kind of up to you. I find that the pad really isn't in the right, I can really ever get it in the right position for my shoulder where it's comfortable. Plus, I don't really care for this thin, flimsy adjustment piece, the strap, and I definitely don't care for these metal spring-loaded buckles. You know, you're adding a spring. Is the spring going to break? You know, what's going to happen with that? I'm sure it's hard use tested, but you just can't really go wrong from this simple pull tab and adjust. So anyway, I wanted to touch base on slings today because it's been something, you know, that I've spent, obviously, I've spent quite a few bucks on trying out different slings and so on. This video is getting a little bit long. I want to make another video in the next week or so covering belts, all the different belts, your rigger's belt, war belts, duty belts, you know, nylon belts for concealed carry, because I have just a butt ton of belts lying around here too. But anyway, I wanted to touch base on slings today. Hopefully you guys can make a little bit better educated choice based on the options I've shown here for you. I could say without a doubt I would recommend the blue Force Gear line, so any of the blue Force Gear line of slings. They do have a really expensive version that has cobra buckle releases. I don't really see much need for that when you have these QD swivels. But, you know, so if you want to spend the extra money and get cobra buckle versions, more power to you. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. See you later.